The chairman of our board is the author of the definitive book on Italian-American history and culture. Our president is a brilliant young playwright whose play, The Domestic Crusaders, and we see the set right here. One of our directors has received a presidential medal. Another has received the National Book Award. Another has a National Book Critics Circle Award. We are Italian, Jewish, Irish, Black, Asian, American, Native American, Hispanic authors who have worked together for over 3 decades without a single punch being thrown. That's our answer to the teabaggers. We began the American Book Awards in New York and have held them here on 4 occasions, between traveling throughout the country to present awards to those authors whose books might have escaped the attention of the intelligent reader. From Oakland, California, our home, to Miami, Florida, to DC, to Seattle, from New Orleans to Chicago, we are truly a National Book Award. Just as the Before Columbus Foundation honors books that have been marginalized by monocultural critics, reviewers, and publishers, the Nuyorican Poets Cafe serves the same purpose. Though Wajahat Ali has received worldwide attention and was first picked up by the BBC World Service, the Nuyorican Poets Cafe is the only New York theater that would host his play. The mass media prefers the image of Muslim Americans as terrorists or courtesans instead of as human beings who have families like the rest of us, who believe that you can be an American without turning your back on your heritage and your history. They complain, the mass media, about the racial divide, yet they profit from it. They're the same people who gave us Fu Manchu, Charlie Chan, the Cisco Kid, Stephen Fetchit, The Sopranos, and now Hollywood's gift to Black Americans this Christmas will be a movie called Precious, the same kind of movie that was produced by Julius Streicher, who's hanged at Nuremberg. Was this movie produced by teabaggers? No. It was produced by Hollywood liberals who contributed to President Obama's candidacy. For Irish Americans, they give us Dirty Harry O'Callahan, a hot-headed, trigger-happy vigilante instead of Frank O'Hara, or the late Bob Callahan, or the late Danny Cassidy, who were among those who sparked the Irish-American Renaissance. Wajahat Ali says he was inspired by one of our greatest playwrights, Eugene O'Neill. And so I want to thank the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, founded by Nuyorican writers, whose movement has received international attention. And now I would like to introduce Rome Neal, chairman of the board of the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, a director and actor who was just nominated for the prestigious Adelco Awards for his one-man show called Monk, Thelonious Monk, whose birthday we celebrated yesterday. Rome Neal is the artistic director of the Nuyorican Poets Cafe theater program, as well as chairman of the board of directors of Nuyorican Poets Cafe. He's also the curator of a new jazz program at the Nuyorican. I made my jazz debut playing the piano here in September, and all of the deceased great pianists of the past turn over their graves. For the past 6 years, he has served up his own delicious banana pudding to his audience and treated them with some of the best jazz musicians in New York, with the best jazz musicians New York has to offer. Mr. Neal received an Obie grant with Cafe founder Miguel Algarin for excellence in the theater. Over the years, he has received numerous Adelco awards. So I want to introduce Rome Neal, chairperson of the Nuyorican Board of Directors. Thank you.
And good evening and welcome to the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. On the behalf of the Board of Directors of the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, we'd like to say thank you for coming out, and thank you, Ishmael, for bringing the American Book Awards back to the Nuyorican. It feels like the Grammy Awards are coming back to New York. Thank you so very much. We're very honored. We're very honored by the esteemed guests we have in the house. We're very honored by having this marv-tastic play that we've just closed here. If you've missed it, the phone rang. Someone's calling for reservations. You've missed a true treat, and with inshallah, it will be back and make a rousing noise throughout this world, not just this country and this state, but throughout the world, because it is one of the best works that we've done here at the Nuyorican, and we've done quite a few great works. No more, thank you very much. As a pioneer member of the famed Judson Church Theater Dance Workshop of the early 1960s, Carla Blank could have basked in the New York media spotlight, especially after her groundbreaking work, The Wall Street Journal, 1966, which resulted from a collaboration between her and dancer Suzushi Hanayagi, and which was one of the earliest artistic responses to the war in Vietnam. Instead, she left New York for California. I think Ishmael was out there someplace, where she continued to perform and where she, with her partner Jody Roberts, ran a nonprofit Roberts and Blank Dance Theater with an after-school workshop for children and his youth performing company, the Children's Troupe. From this experience and other community art projects came the book, Live on Stage, a book that explores postmodernist techniques of instruction for theater and dance, and along with techniques go from traditional theater styles of various times and places in the world. She is also the author of Rediscovering America 2003, a multicultural timeline which chronicles the achievements in the arts, science, business, and technology in the 20th century. Now, 2009 has been a busy year for Ms. Blank. Cool, a collaboration between she and Robert Wilson based upon collaborations with Suzushi Hanayagi, between Mr. Wilson, Ms. Hanayagi, and Ms. Blank and Ms. Hanayagi, played to sold out audiences at the Guggenheim Museum and at the Guild Hall on Long Island. She is the director, dramaturg for Wajahat Ali's The Domestic Crusaders, which, as I said, ended its run here at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Ms. Blank, who will introduce Wajahat Ali, who is the president of the Before Columbus Foundation. Let's have a hand for her. Thank you.
Thank you. Someone having a meteoric rise is a cliche, but this cliche certainly applies to young Wajahat Ali, who has received worldwide attention for his first play, The Domestic Crusaders. One could explain this attention as having to do with his capturing the themes which theatergoers, regardless of their backgrounds, are familiar. We all have families, and so each of the characters in the play, The Domestic Crusaders, can be found not only in Pakistani American families, but in Irish, Asian, Native American, and Italian American families as well. American classics like Eugene O'Neill's Long Day's Journey into Night, Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman, Lorraine Hansberry's A Raisin in the Sun, and Frank Chinn's The Year of the Dragon all show the durability and appeal of the family drama. But there is another reason for the intercontinental appeal of this play as well. Wajahat shows that one brilliant writer can challenge the multi-billion-dollar media machine and its one-sided portrayal of unpopular groups, all done for money and ratings. As Wajahat Ali has said, for South Asians, it's either male terrorists or female courtesans.